My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th, 1986, which is today. Super fascinating. Today is a very interesting day because it's a day of absolute self-reflection I've always given myself and always done with myself ever since I can remember. My birthday is a day to really get a good idea of what have I been doing all year. Where am I today as opposed to a year ago? What's going on today as opposed to a year ago? And there's something today that I don't know what it is, but right up front I just have to give a few thanks. A thanks to my mom and a thanks to my dad, and especially a thanks to them to allow me to be able to get to this point that I'm here today. That they are the foundation on why I'm able to reach the age of 37 years old right now, to be able to do what it is that I do and be able to experience what I'm able to experience right now, and beyond them, my grandparents and then my great-grandparents, and just want to give a big thanks to everyone that believed in me to be able to allow me to be able to get to this point of being able to do what I'm doing. That it's an absolute blessing to be able to be where I'm at, and I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. If it wasn't for that man and that woman deciding to figure out how to be able to get together and getting married, and then figuring out how to, okay, now not married, now we're moving on to some children, and it's very fascinating that they're still married today. Something that in the year of 23 is not a normal thing anymore to be married 40 plus years, and I'm blessed and thankful and I greatly appreciate being able to have parents that have shown me that and have given me that guidance and that wisdom to be able to move forward with my life. Even though my life hasn't been set up that way yet, it still has the opportunity to be what it wants to be later on in my life, and that's something that I hope to strive for. It's something that I've seen my parents be able to do, and it's something that is super phenomenal. And it's something that I have to give all respects to, and something that I'm very blessed to be able to do what it is that I'm able to do. And saying that just really makes me think a lot about the Ten Commandments and making sure that you're honoring your mother and your father. And for me, it's not much of something that I have to be forced upon to do. It's something that I just naturally already just want to do and choose to do and have to do because of what I've been able to have, what I've been able to do, the places they've been able to take me, the things that they've been able to provide for me. It's just absolutely amazing. And not even just the places and the things, but my attitude of getting stuff done. My attitude of following through and finishing. My attitude of making sure that I'm doing more to be able to make sure that I can have the absolute best. My attitude of making sure that if I'm struggling somewhere, to continue to keep on pursuing it and moving forward with it. And saying that makes me have to make a change up of some things that I've been doing. This past year has been, I'm going to say, the best year of my life so far. Of being able to, in my own personal mind, my own personal being, my own personal everything that's been going on with me. It's been the best of the best, and something has been introduced to me in this past year that has I know to be to allow me to be to move forward with that, and that is the concept of knowing who Jesus is and being able to pray upon Him. And with that, I have something more that I have to add to that I don't know what it is in me, but I have something where I'm reading this Bible and I'm going along with it, but I'm finding information that I don't hear anybody talking about. I'm finding information that nobody has answers to even. No one discusses and brings up these things that I'm reading and learning along and wondering who these people are and why were these people taken and what's going on with these people over here for why these people were taken and where do these people even come from and I have a whole lot of questions. And since I have a whole lot of questions, I feel within my own self that I have to kind of step down what it is that I'm talking about with that book because I've never read the whole thing yet. And if I haven't read the whole thing, I can't really talk about it. I feel I don't know why. I have that sense inside of me of being a person to be able to listen to about it, but not actually reading the entire thing myself. So for me, I have to take a pause on a lot of what I'm doing to just self-reflection on today of being my birthday and all, and just taking a pause of I need to finish reading the entire book. And then when I do that, I need to redo the entire book again to double down in it. And depending on where I'm at that, I might want to triple down on it and read it all over again to really get a good understanding of it, as opposed to just speaking something that I don't know the start to the finish. I don't know it, and I don't want to be a person that's just picking and choosing verses here and there that is just trying to use something onto the agenda that I want to be able to speak out there. And so for me, I've hit something where I've been praying about this all day and all week in reality, but especially all day today of where it is that I should go. And my walk today just really led me on a path of just slow down and take it easy in a way and read all of me is what really came to me and inspired me is just read me all so that you can learn more, so that you can have all of the information. I'll never know all the information. I'll never have it memorized. Even if I have it memorized, it's still something in there where you're going to learn this and learn that, and there's something to learn along the way, the entire way. But as far as the stories that I hear and the stories that I've gone through and listening to all these people that have done what we as society are saying amazing and awesome and magical things, where a lot of stuff that I'm reading, there's two sides of everything. And that's something that I've learned, that I don't know what it is with me, that where when someone says that this is an evil person, I'm just like, well, there's good with them. So, and they're not just all evil. And when someone says that this person is really, really good, I'm like, well, there's some evil in there. They're not all good. So I'm always looking at both sides and never just on one, just saying, oh, that was a good person. David was a good person. I'm not going to bow down and agree to that in reality. I'm not, because there's going to be some bad things that he's done. And in reality, there's a whole lot of, on both sides when you're looking at it. On one side of the camp, you're like, yeah, he's the best. But on the other side of the camp, he's like, dude, he just came and destroyed all of us. He just slaughtered everybody. He just dominated and just ruthlessly took over. So there's two sides here. And there's two sides on, depending on which side you're on, you're going to be, yeah, ruha, and then the other side of, oh no, this sucks. And that can start all the way from the start of everyone being under Pharaoh when Moses was trying to get everybody out. It's like there's two sides here. The Israelites are trying to leave, but the what are those called? The Pharaohs are trying to keep them there. So it's a very interesting thing where we're trying to look at it as if just on a one-sided thing. And I want to come at it in a way of, I understand that there's some people out there that don't believe, that don't care, and don't this and don't that, and why? And why is it like that? And why are some people that way? Because the Bible in reality clearly speaks about that. But since I've been listening to so many people say, this is how this is, and this is the way that it is, and listen to so many people tell the story on the side of, say, only these are the believers and these are the people that you should pay attention to, as opposed to the nons and everything else, that I just have a lot to question. And since I have a lot to question, and since I haven't gone through the entire book, I don't feel like I'm in the right place, in the right situation to even be able to talk about it at all. I'm not in the right place to even be able to say anything, any matter about it at all, because I don't know the whole thing, and I don't have a good understanding of every story that's going on in it, on why this started this way, then it got, because that's the timeline that seems to be going on in this book that I'm paying really close attention to. That it's a history book of the beginning of where we started to compared to where it is that we are now. And in reality, I don't know what it is, but where I'm at and with what I'm reading now, and talking about the Philistines and they're always taking over and always praising these other gods and all this stuff, and the Israelites are intermingling, and so we can't really tell the differences between who is who. I'm like, that's what we're living today. Like, we're not even past this part of the timeline that I'm reading right now. Like, we're still here right now. Like, we're not even at the point where Jesus even came back yet. And I say that, and that's complicated sounding, but when I really look around and I hear the news and I hear some things that are going on, I'm like, we're still doing the same things right now that we were doing way back in the Old Testament. Way back, not even like halfway through, but like about halfway through the Old Testament. We're still doing those same things. We're still those same type of people. We're still acting those same exact ways. So it's just very fascinating to me to read this, because I say that, and then I see that that's where we are today and how we are. So that's like, I got to keep reading the whole rest of the half of the Old Testament and then start to read on to the New to get an even better understanding of exactly what's going on here. Because if we're still being like those people, I don't know, to me, we may have been further along at some point, and then now we're going backwards. Well, that may be the situation that's going on here, but I don't know yet. So I don't want to even speak about it at all anymore and say anything on the matter, because I don't know yet. And since I don't know yet, I don't want to put something out there that is just, I have to constantly keep, yeah, I got to change this, yeah, I got to change this, yeah, I got to change that. Because there's been a few things and a few of the commandments that I'm already feeling on videos that I've just recently said of, like, I see what I'm saying. I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense that everyone else is talking about it like that, but there's something in here that's I'm going to say it's confusing. And God is not confusing. So the reason I'm confused is because I haven't gone through the whole thing yet. And once I go through the whole thing and then I'm still confused, then I'm going to run into I feel like a sticky situation of where it is do I go now? What is the information that I'm looking to seek now? What is the understanding that I'm trying to pursue now? But since I haven't gone through the whole thing, I don't see it as my own self as being a person of value to even say anything about it, because I don't know everything about it. And I'm not going to just give you a verse here and give you a verse there and give you a verse there on trying to make sure that you understand who God is when I want you to understand who he totally is. not just a portion of him, not just the good in him, but the everything about him. There's good, there's bad, there's in betweens, there's times that it's just crazy and we don't know and we're unsures, and then there's times that it's just absolute greatness and miracles, and there's times that miracles are only good for the miracle that those certain people, but that miracle is a disaster to other people. So I want to be a person that can be able to really just explain the whole thing. So with that, I just have come to the understanding of I'm going to take a pause for a little bit and not try to explain what it is that I see and I have a good understanding of God until I have a good overall experience of reading the text that he's been able to give us. Reading and really understanding and really paying and focusing a lot of my energy on really dialing in and just having a good understanding of knowing exactly what's being said. So until I have that, that's when I'll start to speak again about what it is that I see with what's going on here. And be able to give you more of an experience of what it is that I've been able to experience and why I've been able to experience it. On why a year ago, just about, because I was looking back at some of my videos of seeing what I was doing and where I was going and what was going on with me. And just about a less than a year ago is when I really had a massive revelation of a change. Or I guess a little bit of a year ago than now. A massive revelation of change has been able to exponentially help me. And I want to make sure that change and the way I speak about it is in a way that, not say it could be fact checked, but is in a way to be able to help others be able to see, like, I'm not just speaking just to speak. Things didn't just happen just to happen. This happened because of this, and this happened because of that. Because that book is in reality set up and written in a way for us to be able to have a good understanding of knowing who God is. And that's for me to figure out more and more and more about it. I know there's some people out here that just want to speak a message and speak a verse and just get off here. That's just not who I am. And that's not how I was raised to be. That's not my foundation of where I came from. That I came from, you're going to get through it all. You're going to do it all. You're going to figure it all out. And you're going to do it regardless. And I don't have anybody on my back to do it. And I feel like that's part of the main part of my upbringing from my parents that I'm so blessed for. That I don't need them to tell me to do anything. They just say, hey, do this, and I just get it done. And I finish and I follow through all on my own. And I feel like that's the reason why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to say for God in a way. And for God in a way to be able to make sure that I'm able to be a good added character to this book. I say character, but an added person to this book in the future to come, to be able to explain some things about these people that have already came, that have already gone, that have already continued to keep on doing. Because this book that we have here today is a book that we have here today of where we are now. That in reality, there's going to be another one written for another time of who knows what, of a whole new another situation of life going on out there. And for me to just explain to you who God is without actually reading this book just feels silly to me in a way today, the way that I really think about it. And I kind of laughed at myself a little bit on my walk today of just taking all my dogs out and we're all out there and just having a good time. And I laughed at myself like, Mark, who the heck are you to stand there and say anything when you don't even know what's going on? You don't even know the whole story. You only know portions of the story. And you only know the parts of the story that certain people that want to tell you about it. Like, you don't even know the whole thing. So how are you out there explaining and saying anything about it? So for me, it kind of hit me hard, kind of hit me heavy. So that's something that I would want more people to just really, if you want to know who God is, then read the book that he's given us. And don't try to run away from it. Don't try to get that information I'm realizing from other people. Because other people we're dancing around topics here. We're dancing around the way and the true holiness and the whole greatness of God. We're dancing around it. We're only picking and choosing certain things. And for me, I don't appreciate that. I want to be told the whole thing, the whole scenario, the whole situation, the everything that's been going on. I want to know it all. I don't want to know just little parts of it. I want to know the whole thing, because I'm not going to be able to live the life that's going to be able to help and be able to get other people to understand and get closer to God. If I don't have the whole picture, I don't have the whole situation, I don't have it all. And that for me just made me kind of laugh at my own self of, I got a lot of learning and a lot of growing up to do, to be able to figure out how to be able to speak a message to someone, to be able to get you to understand who and what and why, because I just don't know it all. And not knowing it all can lead me into making a message about something that I want it to be. Not knowing it all can make me do something that is going to mislead you and misguide you to be able to go somewhere completely different that is not of that text, because I don't know what's all inside of it. And that's for me to make sure that if I'm going to stand up and do what it is that I want to do here to get you closer to Jesus, to be able to have a better understanding of him, the way that I just have inside of me what's been able to help me. and I can't show that to you. I can only just come out here and show you little things that I'm doing around. But in reality, a lot of that today I was even thinking about is I think that I show a little bit too much of what it is that I do, that it can put someone in their feelings of I'm never going to be able to get there. And that's the last thing ever that I would want someone to do, is to be in any situation where you just look at what it is that I have and what it is that I do is you can't do and you can't have and you would never be able to obtain. Because what I do out here is in reality so simple. It just takes the dedication to actually, and the willingness to get up and actually do it. And when you start doing it, you're going to be able to have every little thing that you see. And that for me kind of saddens me in a way, because I don't want to speak a message to say you can this and you can that and not actually knowing everything. And with that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the understanding and the eye-opening realization today, God, of being able to allow me to be able to just figure out more about you before I try to put you out there to the other people. Because I want to be able to speak about God. I want to be able to speak about Jesus. I want to be able to speak about him in a way that I just don't see anyone speaking about in reality. I want to explain all the greatness. I want to explain all the mishaps. Because there's mishaps. There's people that have done some stuff that shouldn't have done some stuff, and stuff has happened to them that is wild. It's wild. Simple, not say simple, but stuff is such as far as the Ark of the Covenant, where they're just walking along, that some people just messed up on the rules and they got too close to it and then just dead, just instant, just messed up. And they messed up and it cost their entire life instantly. They've been living, doing everything they were doing, and then just instantly lost your life because you made a mistake in a way. You made a mistake. And that's something that we don't talk about. And I want to be able to explain whys and hows and what's going on with that. And I'm not far enough in the story yet to get all of the information. And that's something that in me that just says I'm going to be able to speak something and show something and share something that I want us to actually know all of God and not having to run away from it. And I know like that God has put that inside of me to kind of force me to triple down on what it is that I'm doing and not run away from it, but triple down and quadruple down into it to get a better understanding, so that I can be able to better assist people that are confused and questioning. And because the confusion and the questioning, and God promises and guarantees, he says this multiple times, that I'll get you out of your confusion. So if that's the case, then I want to figure out how to be able to get my own self. If my own self has confusion going on, I know for a fact that majority of people also are having that same amount of confusion, because it's just a matter of hearing what someone has to say and just not really able to put the pieces together. That someone says, yeah, God is great and God is amazing and God is wonderful. But then that person's going to look at you and say, well, yeah, God killed all these people. And what are you going to say back if you never even knew those stories? What are you going to say back if you don't have an understanding of those stories? And that's why for me, I feel like I'm in a blessed position to be able to do what it is that I do and be able to have the technology and information to be able to guide me and be able to help me. And not only just that, but the time. The time is what I want to say that I'm most blessed with being on this planet, that God has set me up to be able to do something. And that something is now for me to start to do. And that's why in this year and moving forward, going on into 2024, that I have time to be able to really put into God, to really put into you, to be able to really express more of who he is and be able to show and share more and more about what's going on. And that's something that I've been wasting that time. And even today, I kind of been a little bit slow with doing some things that I'm kind of just in my feelings a little bit, but I'll get out of that and be able to put my time into God, to be able to really show you who he is and what he's all about and what he's able to do and what he's done and what he's going to continue to keep on doing for you. And I would just hope that you're able to find that peace that you're looking for. And that peace starts with just pick that book up. And for me, it's no longer just look at a page. No, start from the beginning, Genesis 1. And learn about what's going on. Learn about that the earth was created. Learn about the breaks that he took. Learn about why it is that we need to take a break every week. Learn about why and how there was a man and what he was doing. Learn about the animals and how they came here, and the grasses and what was going on with them. A woman that came to Adam, and why it is that woman came to Adam. Why is there even women? Why is there even man? Why is man even here? Why is there a man on this planet? And that's all starts in the beginning of the book to explain exactly why we're here. That's why I do what it is that I personally do out here. And because I feel like I get closest to him be doing the work that Adam in reality was doing. And the reasons on why this earth was created was to work it, was to build up, was to trim the bushes and trim the trees and to clear the grasses and clear the land. And that's why Adam was created to be put here, because none of that started until man was put here. So for me, I would recommend everyone to just grab you one and just start reading right from the beginning to get a good understanding of learning why we're here, what we're here for, what we're doing, and what was going on with us along this journey of figuring out how to be able to intermingle with each other. That when there was one person, everything was fine. As soon as we added a second person, things got complicated. And then we started adding millions of people, and things got extremely complicated, like ridiculously complicated. And it's fantastic and amazing and inspiring to be able to read what's going on here. And it's for me to figure out how to be able to get more of that information, be able to give to you. And right now, I don't have all that information, so I have to take a pause on what it is that I'm doing and read and reread and read again to be able to give you the better information. So I'll be back. I'll be back on my mission of talking about God and speaking more about Jesus. But for now, I have to learn more about him before I can come to you to speak about him. Thank you.